everyone. We are from CSC 490, session 141. Today we're gonna present our midterm project, our game, our Cosmic Korean. So our team consists of 4 members, and yeah, and the idea for this game came to us while we were watching a cosmic horror movie. So inspired by its atmosphere, we thought, what if we made the game that capture in a 2D top-down shooter? So that's how this was created. So we're gonna talk about the gameplay. So in this game, you control a spaceship through this space. Our goal is to survive and eliminate alien enemy that's descended from the top of the screen. So player can move left or right while flying forward, and the spaceship shoot rocket straight out to destroy the coming enemy. And the aliens spawn from the top and move downward toward the player. And the game also features the help system. If player get hit, they lose health. And the main objective we set is to like kill the 50 alien, or player reaches the head 0, we die. So let's see about the gameplay.
Part 1 is overall management, UI, and base scripts. Edward managed the project, ensuring everything was well organized and on track. He also worked on the game's UI design and base scripts. Setting up the foundation for the game, the UI assets were sourced from Fuzel.io, a platform offering royalty-free resources for indie developers. Part 2 is the game manager and player script. Eddie focused on the game manager and player scripts. The game manager tracks the score and kills, while the player script handles movement, shooting lasers, and other core player actions, assuring smooth gameplay. Part 3 is enemy spawn system. Baiduheng developed the enemy spawn system, where enemies randomly spawn from the top and move toward the player. They also handle enemy behavior, collision detection, and difficulty scaling. Part 4 is assets and soundtrack. Me, Ricky, was responsible for sourcing and integrating the game's visual assets and sound effects. The visual assets were obtained from Fuze.io, and the sound effects came from Pixabay.com, both royalty-free. These resources helped create the game's atmosphere without worrying about licensing.
So the background scroller script control the scrolling background effect for the game. It is responsible for smoothing, moving the background downward to simulate forward motion in the game. And the script adjusts the background position using it rear transition transform, scrolling at its speed defined by scroll speed. The second background object is used to create a looping effect, where once the background move off screen, the second background take its place. creating a seamless transition. If the background position reach the bottom of the screen, it is reset to the top, ensuring the endless scroll. This effect enhances the sense of motion and depth in the game. The player control script is responsible for controlling the player movement and shooting. The player should move left and right based on horizontal input, arrow, key, or AD. The rigid body 2D is used to apply physics-based movement, ensuring smooth and responsive control. The rocket vertical movement is not handheld in this script as a player only move horizontally, and the shoot function allows the player to fire laser by pressing the spacebar with a cooldown set by the fire rate to prevent continuous firing. The update fire point position mentioned ensure the laser spawn correctly from the ship firing point. Lastly, the game manager's script control the game overall flow, including tracking score, health, and handling game over condition. The score is update 1. The player kill enemy, and once it reach the win score, the game trigger a win with the win game function, pausing the game and display a win message. If the player health reach 0, the game over function is called. This message also manage the spawning of the enemy and the player, and it reset the game when needed.
The enemy script controls the behaviors of enemy spaceships in the game. Each enemy moves downward at a specific speed and is also accelerated left and right to make the movement more dynamic. The horizontal movement is archived using a sine wave, which makes the enemy move back and forth within a defined frequency. When an enemy collides with a laser, it triggers the explosive sound and play an animation and stop further movement. The enemy collider is disabled, and after the death animation, the enemy is destroyed. This system creates a realistic enemy behavior, enhancing the challenge and interactivity of the game. The enemy spawning. The enemy spawner script is responsible for the spawning enemies and regular interval. The script uses the invoke repeating to call the spawn enemy function at a fixed rate spawn rate each time the enemy is spawned. It is placed at a random horizontal position within a specific range, spawn X min to spawning max, at a set vertical position, spawn Y. This randomization helps keep the game exciting by ensuring that enemies don't appear in the same location every time. This is the most challenging thing that we face during development. Facing difficulty like spawning is too cluster, spawning outside of the mud, but with the collaboration we managed to overcome this. I think that was the experience that we learned during this project. To wrap up, the enemy system and spawning mechanic plays a key role in the maintaining steady flow of the gameplay in Cosmic Requiem. The enemy move in a simple pattern and spawn randomly to keep things interesting. The death animation, sound effects, and scoring provide some basic but effective feedback for the players. The health system adds a challenge, making players think about how to avoid getting hit. Together, these elements create a straightforward, action-oriented experience that keeps the game moving without overcomplicated things.